Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Today, we're talking about understanding decision making. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who've just joined us, my name is Wally Rada, and I'm your host for this BizTalk session. I guess you all know, what is decision making? All of you make decisions every day in life. All of you make a decision of some kind every day, whether it's a decision of what to eat, a decision of what to wear, a decision of who to talk to, or a decision of what time to wake up. Everybody makes decisions on a daily basis. What I'd like to do to start today's session is ask you all to think of one of the most important decisions that you will make in your life. I want everybody to take 30 seconds and think of the most important decision that you will make in your life. And then we're going to talk about it. Okay, who would like to share with me the most important decision that you think you will make in your life? Any decision. Can somebody wave their hand to me and let me know if you want to talk to me? Okay, all right, good. I've got several people. That's very good. Let's start with the first young lady who put up her hand, Maria Crusetta. Hello, Maria. Can you unmute your microphone, young lady? Good evening. Where are you
Yes,
from?
Sir Wally. Good evening. I'm from the Philippines,
Good.
and
It's good
yeah,
to
I
see
think
you again. Tell me,
yes.
Maria, what is one of the most important decisions that you think you're going to make in your life?
I think trying to grab the opportunity to go to Singapore after our 12 months module. I think it's
Wonderful.
one of the greatest things that I wanted to think of, since I'm an engineer here in the Philippines and I don't know if I'll still be an engineer there in Singapore. So
Wonderful.
that's it.
That is a big decision, but there's a more important decision that you're going to have to make in your life one day. I guess one day you want to get married, right? And you're going to have to
Hopefully.
choose the guy. Hold on, hold on. Let me ask you, deciding the guy you're going to marry, is that going to be a big decision for you?
Yes, of course.
All right, good girl. That's one important decision. But I guess the most important decision is your career and being successful. I'm so proud to hear that, Maria. And hopefully today I'm going to teach you some skills that you're going to use in decision making, regardless whether you become engineer or chief engineer. And I'm sure you're going to do it. So let me go on and I'll talk to you shortly. Thanks, Maria. Talk to you
Thank you, Sir
soon. You're
Wally.
welcome. Okay, let's talk to someone else. Who else would like to share with me what they have as an important element in decision making? Let's talk to Spencer. Spencer, you're next in the queue. Hello, Spencer. Good afternoon, sir. Can you unmute your
Good morning.
microphone?
Good morning.
Oh, it's good
Good
morning
morning.
in
It's
your
morning.
country. Okay, tell me, Spencer,
Yeah, it's
what's one of
morning.
the most important decision making decisions you have to make in your life?
I want to make decision planning my future so that my kids and the next generation that is coming after me, they can be like the way I am right now. So I want to plan my future and plan my life.
That is a very good thing to decide and plan, and decision making will help you with that. At the end of the session, I'm going to ask you the same question again. All right, mate? I'll talk to you
Thank you.
again shortly. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, who's next? I've got hands going up here everywhere. I'm so happy. Amal, good afternoon. Amal Arif, what's the most important decision you're going to make in your life? Can you unmute your microphone? Hi, Amal.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
What's your most important decision that you have to make in your life soon?
I want to go to Singapore for internship and I want to get a job there.
So your most important decision will be how hard to study, how hard you're
Yes.
going to pass, and then choosing the right internship when you come to Singapore. Is that right, young lady?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you, Amal. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Amal. All right, let's talk to two more people and then we'll start the lesson. Okay, whose hand went up next? I got Marites and I got Jacus. Let's go to Marites first. Hello, Marites. How are you? Are you there, Marites? Unmute your microphone, Marites. Hi, how are
sir.
you
Good
today?
afternoon.
Good to
I'm
see you.
good. Good to
Tell
see
me,
you again.
thank you very much. Tell me, what's an important decision that you have to make in your life?
So far, the most special decision I made is staying here and doing this, pursuing this studies one, because my family wants me to go back to Philippines for good, but I choose to stay some more months just to
Okay,
finish my studies with you. Yeah,
excellent. That's
because
great.
of my long-term goal.
And
Yes,
this decision will change your way forward because it's going to leave you a qualification that you're going to use to either start a business
yes,
or earn a
yes,
better
sir.
income for your family in the
Yes,
Philippines.
yes,
I'm so glad to hear that, Marites. I'll talk to you again
yes,
shortly.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for motivating me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's talk to JK's Alex. Jack's Alex. Hi, Jack. Can you unmute your microphone, sir? Go ahead, Jack. Are you there?
Well,
Go ahead.
good
Hi.
evening, sir.
What's one of the most important decisions you're going to make in your life in the coming months?
One of the important decisions that I will make is after graduating with this diploma in business sales management, I'll be
Yes.
looking after my further business.
Good. And that's one of the most important decisions you're going to make because that is going
Yeah,
to put you on a track of success or a track of failure. And it's a decision you have to make very carefully, Jacques. And I hope I can guide you through
yeah.
that. It's so nice to hear you today. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, let's go on.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jacques. Let's go on. I have two more people with their hands up. Thank you so much. All right, let's talk to Tiri Yanta. Tiri, it's so good to see you smiling, young lady. Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm fine.
You're looking so happy today. You must have had either, I don't know, what did you have for lunch? Was it adobo?
Wow, yeah, I got my lunch prepared by my mom, so it's very amazing.
Okay, wonderful.
So,
Tell me what's, other than deciding what to have for lunch today, which was a big decision, what other important decision are you going to make in your life in the coming future?
well, actually, the question I got from you that I'm very excited to answer, because at the moment I'm currently in the decision, because the important decision that in my life for currently is taking my tax degree after rather I leave my current career and taking my tax degree in another country, which means that currently I'm a little bit taking that.
Well,
So
Terry, let me tell you something, young lady. I don't want you to be taken back. I need to congratulate you because what that tells me is you're serious about your career. All right, young lady. Listen, Terry, I want to tell you something, and you've heard this from me before. Listen
yeah,
carefully. Sit up straight, young lady, because your head is tilted. All right. Every day before you go to sleep, Terry, this is what you do. You look in the mirror and you ask yourself, what do I want in my life? Is it what I'm doing now, or do I want to get a career that I've always dreamt of? Do you understand me?
yes,
And let me tell you what I'm reading in your face right now. Your real career is a dream that you want, not what you're doing now. But Terry, I cannot make that decision for you. For that
yeah,
decision to be successful, Terry, you have to have it in your heart. Do you understand me, young lady? And Terry, I
sure,
think you know my email address and you have my WhatsApp number. And I think
yes,
one day in the coming future, me and you have to have a conversation so I can ask you some questions and maybe steer you in the right direction. And I can't ask those questions in a public forum because I
yeah,
don't want you to tell me what your situation is, where it is. But I think at one point of time, you need confidence. And I need to have a serious discussion with you and ask
sure,
you, what do you expect now? What do you expect in 6 months? And what is your situation moving forward? As long as you're comfortable to do that, you can WhatsApp me. Just say, I'm Terry, and can we have a chat? I would love to do that for you, Terry. And I'll see you
sure, sir.
regularly through BizTalk. But Terry, you need to look at the mirror every night, young lady. Every night before you go to sleep, you say your prayers, but before you go to sleep, you look into your handphone, you look into the mirror, and you say, what do I want in my life? And that goes for all of you. Amal, all of you. What do I want in my life? Am I happy? And don't just say yes for the sake of it. Be honest to yourself. Do you understand that, Terry?
Yes,
Does that help you, young lady?
yes, it's really meant
And
to me.
And today you're going to learn what the elements of decision making are. And I will ask you the same question probably after today's lesson. All right, Terry, thank you so
Sure.
much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you
It's
for
my
your
pleasure.
offering.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that. I'll come back and talk to more of you shortly, but let me open today's session and let's talk about decision making, because decision making is a fundamental discipline that you're going to use in your personal life and your business life as you move forward. And let me tell you that when I started my career, and I walked away from my family home, as you all know from previous sessions, I ran away or walked away from home. Does everybody remember that story? Can everybody wave your hand if you remember Wally's story? Okay, Wally left home because I was sick and tired of being called silly by my father. May he rest in peace. He passed away several years ago. Me and my father didn't speak for nearly 15 years before he passed away. All right. So I made a decision in my life. And let me tell you, every time I look back at that decision, I didn't understand the elements or the outcome or the consequences of my decisions. Do I regret leaving home? In one sense, yes. Am I sorry for doing it? No, because even though I regret it, because my father died and I only saw him before he was buried after he had passed away, because by the time I arrived in Australia, he had already passed away. Do I regret that? Yes. But do I regret making the choice to walk away from home, graduate at the top of my class at university, and get one of the best jobs that I ever dreamt of? I have no regret. Okay. But what I'm saying to you is the process of making that decision is something that I want you to learn about. So when you make that decision, you understand what goes with making that decision. Does everybody follow what I'm saying? Can you wave your hands to me? Good, excellent. Thank you so much. Let's go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so let's talk about decision making. Okay, so what you guys just told me, that you each have a challenge in your life. Each of you has a challenge. For Merites, it's the challenge of whether she does the same job now, which she doesn't enjoy, because her dream says to her she wants to practice what she graduated in and she wants to do that overseas. That's a great dream. That is a great challenge. For Jacques, he wants to make a decision as to what sort of business he wants to start in order to secure his future. That is a great, important challenge. It's one of the biggest challenges you'll make in your life. The other challenge that you're all going to face one day in your life is whether you get married or not and who you marry. And that's going to be one of the hardest challenges you make. Let me tell you about myself. And this is a story I don't share that often. The first love of my life, I dated for 9 years. She was the most beautiful woman I had ever met in another country in the world. She was the one who introduced me to adobo. Her mother is now 80 years old. I still call her mum. I dated this person for 9 years of my life. I used to visit her and fly halfway across the world every month. But I made an incorrect decision because one day she said to me, "Can you pay for me to go to the US and do my clinical training?" I said yes. I paid a lot of money to send her to the US, but I made the wrong decision because when she went to the US, she met another person who was studying to be a doctor over there. She decided to turn me away and stay in the US and marry him. My heart was broken. I cried for probably 3 months. Okay. I could not wake up without thinking of her for 3 months. Was that the right decision I made to let her go to the US? Probably not. But at the point of time, I did not understand what process I need to go through in making that decision. I didn't understand the consequences or the elements that I have to consider. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say that she's married, she's got children, and she's very happy. And I still call my second mother, and she says hello to me once every 6 months. And every time I visit their home, I sit down with my second mother and my second father, and I have my favorite food, pork and chicken adobo. They will always be my best friends, but they could have been even better friends if I had not made the wrong decision some 40 years ago now. Do you understand that, everyone? Do you understand how important decision making is in your life? Decision making is critical to all of you. Let's go on. What is decision making? Well, it's a very easy process. Decision making is that action or that moment when you ask yourself, what are the possibilities that I want to achieve, or what are the possibilities for me? Do I marry this guy because of his money? Do I marry him because he's got money? Or do I marry him because he's good looking? Why am I marrying him? Am I marrying her or him because my parents want me to? Am I marrying her because I really love her? Or am I just marrying her because she's the best looking girl that's asked me to marry her? All of these decisions are a decision that involves you asking yourself, what are the possibilities ahead of you? And how do you choose what possibility that you're prepared to face? Are you prepared to face the consequences of that possibility? Are you prepared to work hard to make that possibility or that action a success in your life? Does everybody understand what I mean by the definition of decision making? Can you wave your hands for me, everyone? Thank you so much. Thank you, Jacques. All right, let's go on. Every morning when Marites wakes up, she asks herself what to wear. Every day when Jacques wakes up, he asks himself, what do I wear today? Do I wear the same gray shirt that I wore yesterday? Or do I want to motivate myself? Do I wear a pink t-shirt, a white t-shirt, or a red t-shirt? And let me remind yourself, everyone, let me give you a simple motivation definition, which I seem to want to do more often every time I see you, my students, is that every day when you wake up, if you feel sad about something you did the next day, then they say that a change in what you wear or a change in your surroundings is like having a holiday. So if yesterday you were sad and yesterday you were wearing a dark color, today wake up and wear a bright color. Every day you make a decision of what to wear. That decision reflects your personality and your state of happiness. Does everybody understand by what I mean by that? Yes or no? I'll give you an example. A lot of girls like to wear black and white. A lot of girls do that. Am I right or wrong? Girls, wave your hands. A lot of girls enjoy wearing black and white. I'm wearing black and white today simply because I chose an Adidas t-shirt this morning and then realized when I got out that I have to teach this class today. But that's okay. I'm a happy guy. But usually black is a color you wear. And black has a negative motivation to some people because people wear black when they go to funerals. So unless you're extremely motivated, I don't suggest you wear black on a day when you need to motivate yourself. Keep black for when you want to go out to a party, or keep black for days when you're highly motivated. Black is not a color usually associated with motivating people who need motivation. You all understand that, guys? All right. Black is a color you only wear if you're going out at night to a bar or a nightclub where no one can see your color. All right. Or it's a color that you wear because you're very confident you're going to $1 million presentation. But I don't suggest you wear it if you're somebody who's going through a decision in your life and trying to decide your future. That's just some humble advice. But you make a simple decision every day of your life of what to wear. Every day of your life, when you wake up, you make a decision of what to have for breakfast. Every day of your life, you make a decision of when to go to the toilet and how many times to go to the toilet. These are simple decisions that you make in your life. What I'm going to share with you today is more complicated decision-making processes, and I want you to apply them every day in everything you do in your life. Some decisions you make in your life are more difficult than others. One of the most difficult decisions I made in my life was to walk away from my rich father, where maids, servants, cooks, and drivers were there to look after me. I made a decision to walk away and go to another state where I had to live in poverty for 2 or 3 days. I had to work cleaning tables, cleaning toilets, and mopping floors at a McDonald's family restaurant. I had to swallow my pride. That was one of the most difficult decisions I made in my life. Do I regret it? Well, to what extent I do, because I missed 15 years of my father's life. I missed it because what I did by walking away from home without explaining the reason to him, he took him a long time to forgive me. And maybe I'm sorry about that. But what I'm happy about is the fact that I walked away from home. I learned lessons in life, and I graduated with results better than I would have ever graduated with at home. I learned life the hard way. I had to appreciate everything I did in my life, just like some of you are going through now. I made a decision that I wanted to be successful. I chose my path. I decided to move to another city called Sydney, New South Wales, because the university that I was going to go to in New South Wales, I thought would offer me a better qualification. It did. The McDonald's family restaurant owner kindly enough gave me a job and gave me the same amount of money every month as my pocket money from my father. That owner promised me that the day I graduate, he'd fire me so I could find a better job and not work in a job that wasn't good enough for me. And that goes to you, Marites. This is the same decision that you have to make, young lady. Take your hand away from your mouth, because when you put your hand in front of your mouth, Marites, it means you're living behind something. You're trying to hide your reaction. Look at the camera and be confident, all right? Okay, listen carefully, Marites. Don't be ashamed. You want help, I'm giving it to you, all right? You are going to make the most critical decision in your life about your success and your future. And I want you to do that with all the confidence you have in you. Do you understand that? It's a difficult decision, but rest assured, there will always be somebody here to support you, and that's me, because I'm an academic and that's my passion. All right, so let's go on and talk about the elements in making this difficult decision. Changing your job is a difficult decision, Iris. Changing the job or deciding to go to a new job is one of the most difficult decisions you'll make in your life, okay? And that's a difficult decision for everyone. Everybody makes that decision. Please don't be shy and switch off your camera if I talk to you. I'm trying to involve you as a student, Iris. There's no need for you to switch off your camera. Okay, so being motivated or being able to make a difficult decision will be the biggest success you have in your life. I made difficult decisions. I had a big job in Dubai. I used to earn probably 10% than I earn now. But I gave up that job because my mother-in-law and father-in-law in Singapore, the home of the girl that I married, who was living with me in Dubai as husband and wife, she had to make a decision whether it's me or her parents who needed us. I threw away a job that paid me nearly 250,000 US dollars a year to come back to Singapore for only 75% of that salary. Was it one of the most difficult decisions in my life? Yes. I had to decide whether I wanted fame and fortune or whether I wanted a job and wanted a family. I made that decision. it was one of the most difficult decisions in my life. The same as it will be for Marites, the same as it will be for Jacques, the same as it will be for Tasnim or anybody else that's here today. Let's talk about music companies. Let me change the example to an industry that you all know. Let's look at record companies, music companies, companies that produce music, companies that made Michael Jackson, Madonna, Elvis Presley, John Paul Young, all of those big ones, the Beatles. Let me go on. There's thousands of these musicians. Okay, Celine Dion. I'm only naming a few of them. Some of you might be too young to know the others. But when a music company is built on people that are successfully making good creative decisions, because the person who gave Michael Jackson a chance to become a pop star and a recording star made a decision based on their gut feeling. He made a decision based on maybe not only his gut decision, but also different questions about why he should make that decision, which I'm going to share with you today. These people in the music industry are going to make a decision to take Marites and make her a pop star. Marites is not a pop star. She doesn't have any singing experience, probably. She's never been in front of 50,000 people singing. These people have to make a decision and choose one of 50 people auditioning to become pop stars, to actually have a record and become millionaires. So they have to make this decision without any evidence of success. How do they do that? Do they say no and risk never having a multi-million-dollar record published by them or produced by them? No, of course not. If that happens, Celine Dion would not be the multi-million-dollar recording artist that she is today. Madonna wouldn't be a trillion-dollar recording artist that she is today, because somebody wasn't able to give her a chance by making a tough decision, which turned out to be a life decision, because they made millions. Every time Madonna makes money, her agent, her producer makes money. So did her producer make the right decision? Yes. But at the time he made it, he faced some very difficult challenges. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Could you wave your hands, please, now? Wave your hand, Jacques. Don't go to sleep, Jacques. Okay, thank you. Let's talk about some famous quotes from some famous people, everyone. Thierry, Marites, Jacques, all of you. Be sure you are right, then go ahead. Doing what's right isn't hard. Knowing what's right is hard. But if you're not prepared to take the risk and ask yourself, what is right? If you don't know how to make that decision, then you will never make a decision and you will never achieve your goals in life. Does everybody understand that? Good, excellent. There is a famous saying, mine own applause is the only applause which matters. Does anybody know what I mean by that? Does anybody know what this statement means? It means, Thierry, don't worry about what other people think of you. Don't worry about other people clapping for you. Don't worry about your boyfriend in the Philippines saying that if you leave the Philippines, I'm not going to wait for you, because that's not important in your decision-making process. What is important in your decision-making process is how you are going to make a decision which is going to lead to your success or your goal. You have to be prepared to take risks in life. So, as I say to my 6-year-old daughter, who says to me every day, Daddy, I want to be a heart surgeon, and when I graduate, I'm going to buy you a Ferrari because I'm going to be a rich heart surgeon. And all my friends and my aunties are going to be proud of me. I say to her, Sweetheart, don't care about what your aunties will say of you. Don't worry about buying daddy a Ferrari. Worry about what you want to achieve in life and make sure that you succeed. Because by the time you become a heart surgeon, daddy may not be around anymore. It might be, you know, I might get knocked over by a car tomorrow. I say this to all of you, and please take a picture of this. Mine own applause is the only applause which matters. In simple English, it means my personal satisfaction, my decision to do something is the only decision that matters. Do not wait for other people to give you the green light. Because if Jacques waits for his friends to say, this is the way you should go, then Jacques will never make that decision. Jacques has to make the decision on his own, not wait for other people to support him, because for them, the decision might not be as important as it is for Thierry, for Jacques, or for any of you here today. Does everybody follow what I'm saying? Yes or no? Do you follow that, Amal? Do you follow that, Jesus? Do you follow that, Mary? Please switch on your cameras. If you don't switch on your cameras, I can't help you. Okay, does everybody follow that? Susie, do you follow that? Minsiak, do you follow that? Wave your hands to me. Don't sit there like monuments. Ronabil, do you follow that? Wave your hand. Good girl. Letitia, can you look at the camera, Letitia, and wave your hand? I don't want to see the wall. I want to see your face, young lady. Good girl, Letitia. Beautiful smile. Good girl. All right. So everyone, remember, what is important to you is what you think is right, not what other people think of you. Let's ask ourselves some questions. How do you feel about the decision that you're going to make? What are some difficulties that are stopping you from making that decision? What are the factors that you need to come over or think about to make that decision? Why are you thinking that those factors are the only factors? Have you considered everybody or everything else that may influence or jeopardize those factors? Okay, so let's go back. Does everybody understand what I mean by what I've just explained? Does everybody understand that? Can you wave your hands? Some of the factors that you're going to address as young people, Min Siak Sanda, when you grow up and one day you want to start a family, you're going to have to ask yourself, is she the woman I want to marry? Is she the woman that I can live with for the rest of my life? Because for most of us, marriage only happens once. Because when you get married, you take the vow that you're going to be together for the rest of your lives. No one plans to have more than one marriage. If it happens, you need to do it, fine. It means something went wrong, but it's something we plan once in our life. Do you all understand that? Do you understand that, Min Siak Sanda? Min Siak, wave your hand. Don't shake your head like a monkey. Good man. Excellent. Okay. All right. Susie, do you understand what I just said, Susie? Wave your hand, Susie. I love your white t-shirt today, Susie. You look very motivated. Nacy, do you understand what I said, Nacy? Good girl. Excellent, young lady. Amal, do you understand? Amal, wave your hand. Sit up and wave your hand. Excellent. Okay. Mary, do you understand what I just said, Mary? Wave your hand. Good girl. All right. So I want you to ask yourself, everyone. Augustine, do you understand what I just said, Augustine? Good. I want you to ask yourself, what are some of the factors that I have to consider in my decision, Marites? What are some of the factors, Spencer, that you have to consider when you're making a decision? Jacques, what are some of the factors that you're going to have to consider? Are those factors the only factors, or are you avoiding some of the more important factors? Do you understand that, girls? Yes or no? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Yes. Good. Excellent. I want you to think of an important decision. I'm going to ask Susie to be my volunteer. Susie, on your microphone. Hello, Susie. Hi, Susie. Can I use you for this example? Is that all right? Okay. Can I ask you some questions? Speak up, Susie. Yes or no?
Yes, but my English so bad. I cannot speak English.
That's okay. I want you to try. That I want to build your confidence. Susie, are you married or are you single?
I'm married.
Good girl. All right. Do you have any children?
One children.
Okay,
son.
one child. Okay, let me ask you a question, Susie. This is a question I want to ask you. If you and your husband tomorrow want to make a decision, should I have another child or should I have only one child? Can I ask you, what are some of the factors that you would need to consider? Give me only one. I only want one. What are the factors
Okay.
you need to consider?
My decision is only have one child.
All right. So if you wanted to have another child, you would have to ask yourself, can we afford another child? Can we give that child the best education? Will they be happy? Do we have room for a second child? You know, Susie, that's a very interesting question because me and my wife have been talking about a second child for 6 months, and we keep coming back to the same decision as you. We're happy with only one. So thank you, Susie. But you understand what I mean, Susie, by factors? You always need to ask yourself serious questions about any decision you're going to make. Do you understand me, Susie?
I understand.
Everybody give Susie a big hand. She keeps saying she can't speak English, but she can speak English. Give her a big hand. Everyone, clap for Susie.
Thank you.
And Susie, one day, if I visit your country, you're going to cook adobo for me, right? Are you there, Susie? Okay, good on you, young lady. Good girl. All right, let's
Thank
go
you.
on. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, what factors, what are the consequences? What do I have to consider? The country I'm going to work in, the income I'm going to earn, the exchange rate and how much money I can send back to my family, the taxation. Taxation in the Philippines is much higher than Singapore. Taxation in Singapore is only 12 cents in the dollar. Taxation in Singapore is cheaper than Australia. In Australia, I used to pay 60 cents in the dollar. 60. In Singapore, I paid 12 cents in the dollar. Do you think I made the right decision? Wave your hand if you think I made the right decision. But I was lucky. I didn't know that till after I married my Singaporean wife. I didn't know that. After I married her and I got a job, I said to her, how much is tax? She said 12 cents in the dollar. I said, so I've got two great things in my life. I married the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and now I pay the cheapest tax that I've ever paid in my life. I won. So my decision was right to marry her. Would you all agree with that? Wave your hands. Yeah? So if you want to make a decision whether to work in Singapore, you should be asking yourself, which is more important? The potential salary I can earn, the lower tax I'm going to pay, or the boyfriend in the Philippines who's unemployed, or the boyfriend in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Vietnam, or the girlfriend in Vietnam that is unemployed. What is more important in your life? Do you all understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Good girl. Excellent, Letitia. Okay, excellent, Letitia. All right, so let's go on to my presentation. Okay, so remember, how do you feel about the decision you have to make? What are some of the difficulties that you are facing in making that decision? What are the factors that you have to consider in making the decision? And why aren't you considering all the factors? Why are you only concentrating on those factors? Muda Lamin, I will talk to you shortly. Please give me a chance. I will talk to as many people as I can. Okay, so let's go on. let's talk about common types of decision making that we all face in life. There is decisions made by majority where you ask your mother and father and girlfriend and boyfriend whether they agree with you. In business, you might ask your manager or managers or your shareholders or your partners or your investors. There's hierarchical decision making. For example, those of you who have children, when you make a hierarchical decision about that child and what they're going to wear today, or which school they go to, or how much food they're going to eat because they're not well, they are decisions you make as their parents because you're older than them. There's proportional decision making. What do I mean by that? That's where Ronable is going to ask her mother, her father, her grandmother, her grandfather, her boyfriend, current boyfriend, or current husband, whichever one that may be, and she's going to say to them all, I am going to make a decision to go and work in Singapore. There's 6 of you here. How many of you say yes? How many of you say no? And she's going to rely on the highest vote. And she might have 5 people that say yes, 2 people that say no. That's proportional decision making. And the other sort of decision making, which is consensus. Let me just say to you, with proportional decision making, it's usually made on the balance of probability. So she says to herself that if 60% of the people voting say yes, then I'll go. It's based on a proportional prediction of some kind. But if you talk about consensus decision making, you make that decision based on the consensus of everybody else. So what you're saying to yourself is everybody else are making these decisions and everybody else thinks it's right. I will make it anyway based on consensus. Does everybody understand what I mean by the term consensus? Who can explain to us consensus in their own word? Augustine, can you be so kind to explain to everybody what does consensus mean, my dear friend? Can you unmute your microphone? Go ahead, Augustine. Can you unmute your microphone, Augustine? Good afternoon,
Yes,
Augustine. How are you?
hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Good. Can you explain to everybody what consensus means?
Consensus.
Yeah. Consensus means what? Opinion, majority opinion, common opinion. Can you explain it to everyone? Can you help me or not?
Yes, sir. As I understand, the consensus is just like the general agreement.
That's right. It's a general feeling about something. Very good.
Yes,
You
sir.
answered it perfectly. Augustine, don't be afraid to answer. I'm an academic.
No, sir, no,
I
sir.
will correct you. Always have
I'm just-
confidence, Augustine. All right?
I am just curious to answer my idol professor and the director of
God
the
bless you,
admin. Yes,
sir.
sir.
God bless you,
So,
Augustine. You're one of my
always,
best
sir. Always,
students.
sir. I salute and I you are my idol when it comes
That's
to
okay.
education.
God bless you. I'll talk to you soon, Augustine. I'll come back to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. So what we just heard there about consensus is the general feeling, the general image. Let's talk to someone else. Mr. Jesuito, I haven't said hello today. How are you today? Jesuito, open your microphone, young man. You're not going to escape answering a question. Open your microphone. Jesuito, how are you?
Hi, doing great.
Jesuito, tell me, which type of decision making do you think is more effective for you in business? Is it consensus? Is it proportional? Or what sort of decision making would you opt to in business?
I think I would go to consensus.
All right.
decision
And
making.
good. Can you explain why you take consensus decision making when you're making a decision in relation to the industry you're in? Can you explain to students, your fellow students, why do you think that would be the best process?
Because it's very simple. Two brains better than one brain.
I love you, Jasrito. You make it sound so easy, my friend. Me and you have to talk more regularly about this. Let me explain. What Jasrito has just explained to you is correct. If you work in an industry, whatever it is, whether it's the airline industry or the beauty industry, let me just explain to you. I'll give you two common examples. If you're an airline like Philippine Airlines or Singapore Airlines, you don't go and try something new on your own. You wait till all the other airlines have tried it. And then if it works for them, what do? You copy them, right? Because you know it worked. Let me give you an example. Many years ago, one airline decided that economy class was good. Business class was too expensive. So they come up with the idea of premium economy class. Guess what happened 12 months later? Every airline in the world now has premium economy class because they took a consensus decision to also spend money on their aircraft and build a premium economy class. Do you all understand what I mean by consensus now? Is that a simple example, Jessusito, of what you were saying? Did I give a right example? Good on you, mate. Let's go to another example. I want all of you to think of this example. If you go, let me use any city in the world. If you go to any city in the world and the girls are looking for a hairdressing salon or a beauty salon, they have two choices. They can go to a local salon with the same old person that's been working there for 20 years, or they can go to a shopping center and pick this trendy salon. And they might get the same service, but let me ask you a question. The stylist that looks after them, which one will have more experience about what styles are new and what styles are fashionable? The little place that, you know, only 20 customers go to a week, or the big place in a shopping center that sees 200 customers? Consensus. Do you all understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Simple, right? Thank you. Good. Excellent. All right. Let's talk about something else. I want to talk about women when they go to buy shoes, because this is the easiest process to give you an example of. I'm going to use two students here, and I'm going to use your names, Amal and come on, let me find somebody else, and Zinma. Amal and Zinma today go shopping to a shoe store. They're best friends, all right? And they're starting their professional life working in an office environment, and they're looking to buy a new pair of shoes. So Amal and Zinma walk into the first shoe shop, and Amal says, I like that one. Zinma says, I like that one too. Should I buy it? Oh, no. Well, it's very expensive and it's not on sale. The other ones are on sale. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Why would the shoes on sale be on sale? Are they because they are more fashionable, or is it because they're old season or old stock? So the factor you have to ask yourself, do I want the latest design or I want the cheapest design? Do you understand what I'm talking about, ladies? Do you understand that, Zinma? Zinma, wave your hand, Zinma. Are you there, Zinma? Wave your hand, young lady. I can't see you. Good girl. All right. It's okay. I saw your head move. It's okay. I saw you. I saw you. Good girl. Excellent. Okay. Don't be shy, Zinma. I'm here to help you. Don't be shy. Good girl. Excellent. Beautiful smile. All right. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, there must be factors that help you make every decision, whether it's buying a pair of shoes or buying the cheapest pair of shoes. Do you all understand that? Yes or no? If you go to a restaurant, you can go to a restaurant and have lunch for $2, and you can go to a restaurant and have lunch for $4. What's the difference? It's the quality of the food, right? So you have to ask yourself, do I want to eat quality, or do I want to eat something because I've only got $2 in my pocket? These are factor decisions that you have to ask yourself. So if I'm making a decision about what to eat, it's no longer consensus, because I've only got $2. I have no other choice. I have to eat that, right? But if I have $20 and I go to a mall with 20 different restaurants, which one do I go to? Do I go to the one with 50 customers waiting because the food is better? Or do I go to one with only 5 customers inside? Of course, I make a consensus decision. Look at that restaurant. It's packed. People are queuing to go there. So that restaurant must have better food than the one next door. That becomes a consensus decision. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands, everyone. Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you. Let's go on. Okay, let me share my PowerPoint again. All right, so let me go and give you more example. Majority decision making is usually used in a boardroom where the company directors or shareholders vote. Hierarchical decision making is commonly used by your boss, your manager, or as a parent when you're making decisions in respect of your children. Does everybody understand those? Do you understand that? None? April, Minyet? Good, excellent. Thank you. All right, let's go on. There is different factors that affect decisions. And I want you all to write these down now. Get your pens out now. I want to see a pen in your hands. Everyone. Good. Pens, everyone. Harold, where's your pen? Where's your pen? Good, Harold. Asa, Banco, where's your pen? Asa, don't run away. Where's your pen? She's gone to get her pen. It's okay, Asa. Take your time. Show me your pen. Next time, young lady, make sure you got a pen when you come to my class. Okay, Asa, wave your hand. Good girl. Write these down. The factors that are important to decision making is the perception that people have of the decision you're going to make. It's also your perception about yourself and the decision you're going to make. How important is that decision, the priority in your life or in your business? Acceptability. How acceptable will that decision be after you've made it? Will you be able to live with it, or are you going to be sorry that you made it? What are the risks involved in making that decision? Remember, if you don't take risk, you will never be successful. That's a fact of life. What are the resources that you need in order to implement that decision? What are the goals that you have for your business and in your life? And how will this decision ensure that you achieve your goals? If you're making this decision for a company like Jesucito or for a business, what are the core values of that company or business? And how will that decision impact on the core values? Do you understand that, Jesucito? Do you understand what I mean by core values? Okay, good man. All right. And what style or what sort of thinking, positive or negative attitude, should you apply to making that decision? Glenn Dexter, I need to see your face, not your room or your laundry. Could you please show your face on camera so you can learn something? For the love of God, I'm trying to help you. I'm a teacher. I'm not a monument. Please show yourself. Okay, so everyone, the most important element here is you have to be comfortable with your sense of thinking before you make a decision. If Asa tries to make a decision and she's too busy crying because today she broke up with her best friend, is she in the right state of mind to make a decision? No. Do you understand that, Asa? Good girl. All right. Marjorie, switch on your camera. Marjorie Gonzaga, how can you learn if your camera is switched off? Please, young lady, switch on your camera. Don't be shy. Good girl, Marjorie. Do Do you understand what I just explained, Marjorie? Can you wave your hand? Marjorie, wave your hand. Okay, I can see you now. That's good. All right. And the last one you have to consider is your judgment. Are you ready to make a decision, or are you scared? If you are scared, you have to overcome your fear, because otherwise you cannot make a clean judgment. If you are sad, or you are still upset with something that affects your decision, then it's not the right time to make that decision. Do you understand that? Yes or no? But it doesn't mean that you don't make a decision to close a bad decision. For example, if you're going out with someone, simple example, and they cheated on you, it's very simple. You end your relationship, or that's what I would do. Maybe some of you wouldn't. That's a simple decision. But then I have to make a decision about somebody else who I'm going to go out with. Do I make that decision straight away, or do I need time to think about what just happened? Judgment. Does everybody understand that? Do you understand that? None? April? Wait, shake your hand. Good girl. All right, let's go to the next part. What are the 6 C's of decision making? I want everybody to write these down, and after the lesson you're going to have to read them out to me. I want you to memorize them before the end of the lesson. If you can't tell me what they are, I'm going to give you homework. All right, number 1, the 6 C's of decision making are construct, compile, collect, compare, consider, and commit. I'm going to repeat them from 6 back to 1. Commit, consider, compare, collect, compile, and construct. Harold, do you understand those? Did you write them down, Harold? Good man, Harold. Let's talk about each of them individually. Let's talk about what each of these mean. All right, let's talk about construct first. All right. Construct is really important. It's building blocks. So before I go into these, let's ask ourselves, what do I need to think of? You need to think of who will this decision affect? What is the decision going to do? Where will this decision fit in to my life or my business? When should I make this decision, and when do I need to make it in order to move my life in the right direction or save my business from bankruptcy? Does everybody understand that? How do I need to make this decision? What are the questions that I need to ask myself? And why am I making this decision? You need to ask yourself the W's and the H's. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. So you have 5 W's and 1 H. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Now let's talk about the construct, the 6 C's. The first one is 6 C's is construct. What does construct mean? What does it mean? Construct is for you to have a clear vision, a clear image of what you want to decide. For example, Asa, again, am I deciding on whether I just want a boyfriend to go out with, or am I looking for my future husband, for example? You need to have a clear picture of what decision you're making. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Marjorie, are you listening to me, Marjorie? Are you learning anything, Marjorie? Please sit in front of the camera and show me that you're learning. Thank you. Catherine, do you understand what I just said about construct, Catherine? Wave your hand, Catherine. Good girl. Letitia, do you understand what I just said, Letitia? Wave your hand, Letitia. Good. Where's Ronabil gone? Ronabil, are you there? Wave your hand. Excellent. Compile. You need to make sure you write down a list of what it is that you want to achieve by reaching this decision. So you need to write down all the possible choices that you need to consider, or all the possible options or factors that you need to consider in making a decision. That's the compile. What am I compiling? A list. Write it down. Compile a list. Next one. You need to collect information about all the options, all the alternatives that you have. Now, when you collect information, you can think of methods or famous ways of collecting information. Write these down. SWOT analysis, mind mapping, Ishikawa diagrams or bone diagram in decision making, pest analysis, and a problem tree. If you don't know how to use any of those, I will be conducting a BizTalk in about 4 weeks about all of these decision-making tools. And these are tools that you use to collect information in order to make decisions. I will read you these tools again. Write them down. SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis. Mind mapping. Problem tree. Pest analysis, PEST analysis. Ishikawa diagram. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what they mean, you are now studying for either diploma or postgraduate diploma. I want you after this lesson to go and use Google and look up each of those decision-making collection tools, information collection tools, in order to help you make decisions. And I want you to learn on how to use them. So by the time I teach you how to use them, you already have an idea if you don't already have. If you're studying for a diploma or postgraduate diploma, and all of you are studying with us, so whichever one you're studying, you will also learn this throughout your studies. Let's go on. The next one is compare. What is compare? What is compare? Compare is when you ask yourself of the alternatives. For example, girls, this is another simple example, and I'm making it simple so you understand. Asa is going to get a new hairstyle today. Asa walks into the shopping mall and she sees one hair salon with this young guy, and he's Korean, and he's wearing a beautiful black t-shirt and leather pants. And there's 20 other girls waiting for him to give her a new hairstyle. And she walks down the 2 doors down, okay, and she sees another shop. But in this shop, there's only one old lady cutting hair, and there's no customers. So Asa has to make a decision and compare two alternatives. Does she want to let somebody who has no customers change her appearance, or does she want to go for the more popular alternative by consensus because all the other girls are lined up at that salon? Do you understand that, Asa? All right. So it's comparing all your alternatives, asking yourself, do I want to take a decision based on what other people are doing, or do I want to make a decision based on price? Because the salon with only the old lady is only charging $5, and the salon with the Korean guy is charging $10. Is my appearance more important than $5, or am I just poor and I just don't want to spend more than $5? Do you all understand that? Yes or no? These are very simple examples of the alternatives that you have to consider to make sure that the decision that you make will meet the requirements that you have. Do you all understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Wave your hands if it yes. Wave your hands, please. Good, excellent. All right, let's talk about the next one. Consider. And what am I going to consider, Harold? I'm going to consider the consequences of what might go wrong with each of the alternatives. Do you understand that, Harold? Wave your hand, Harold. Okay, let's go back, Asa. Let me ask you questions, Asa. So what are the consequences, or what could go wrong by Asa making the right decision or going to the wrong salon? There's two things can go wrong. If she goes to the old lady salon, the old lady might give her a hairstyle that she will cry about later and say, how stupid can I get? It's going to take 6 months for my hair to grow back. I feel so silly. That's one decision, all right, that could go wrong. Or the other decision that could go wrong is that she goes to the Korean salon, and the guy makes her look so attractive and she looks so good that she goes home, and every day she goes out and 20 new boys come up to her and say, can I buy you dinner tonight, right? And what's bad about that is that Asa is going to be so busy because she's going to be going out with a new boyfriend every day. Now, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but I'll let her decide. But these are simple things, consequences you must decide. I'll give you another consequences. Another one. If I ask Jessusito to make a decision for his company without considering the alternatives or the consequences, he could probably lose his job or get demoted because he would lose money for his company. So he would have to consider the consequences. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Okay, let's go back and ask some questions. How many of you here drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Who drinks Coca-Cola? Wave your hand. All right, good, excellent. I've got two. Mary, where did you go, Mary? Come back. I need to ask you a question. Mary, wave your hand again. All right, Mary is waving her hand, but I've lost her. I'll find her again. All right, okay, let me go to someone else. I'll come back to you, Mary. Who drinks Coca-Cola again? Can you wave your hands? All right, let's choose somebody who's waving their hands. Okay, good. Harold, you drink Coca-Cola, Harold? Wait, open your microphone, Harold.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Harold,
I like it.
You're a Coca-Cola lover like me. You're a Coca-holic, right?
Not really, sir, because my job is related to health
Okay,
and
good.
like I'm a coach, no?
Okay, good. Let me ask you a question. Do you know the consequences for somebody who works for Coca-Cola drinking Pepsi in public while they're wearing a Coca-Cola uniform? Do you know what the consequences are?
Yeah, have a lot of consequences.
What are they?
Like you take a risk, no? Because you know.
Well, no, let me make it easier for you, Harold. If I work for Coca-Cola and I'm wearing a Coca-Cola uniform and I am seen drinking Pepsi in public, there's only one consequence. I'll get fired instantly. There is no second chance. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know that.
All right, good, excellent. And it's the same for Pepsi. It's the same for Pepsi. If I work for Pepsi and I'm a Pepsi Cola salesman, and one day I'm walking around a shopping mall in my uniform with a PepsiCo sign on it, and I sit in a restaurant and drink Coca-Cola, and somebody takes a picture of me drinking Coca-Cola in a Pepsi uniform, he will lose his job. Do you understand the consequences, everyone?
Yeah, I understand, sir.
I'll give you another set of consequences, Harold.
You're working there, no, in a Coca-Cola, but despite you drinking other brand, right? We're talking
and
about
whilst you're wearing the uniform. That's what makes it hard. All right.
Yes.
All right.
But
let me ask you. Yeah, go on.
school, no? If you want to drink Coca-Cola, don't wearing a uniform like that.
That's
no?
right. Go home or change your uniform, right?
Yeah, change or disguise,
Right.
no? Making disguise. That's it.
All
Thank you,
right.
sir.
You're welcome. I'll give you another example, ladies. If you want to go out on a date with a new boyfriend while you already have a boyfriend, for the love of God, don't go to a coffee shop or a restaurant where your other boyfriend goes. You'll get caught, all right? Make sure you choose a restaurant or a bar where your other boyfriend never goes. There's a consequence. Do you understand how simple that is? Yes or no? You all understand that. Nur Salah, you understand that? Good girl. Excellent. I did it once and I nearly got caught, but I quickly put my head down and ran out the door, and the new girlfriend followed me outside, and we went half an hour by taxi where the other old girlfriend is not going to find us. And it just by consequence. All right. Lucky I hadn't ordered any food yet. Okay. Does everybody understand that consequence? Can you imagine if you're a policeman, all right? And somebody takes a video of you smoking marijuana, what would happen to that policeman? He'll get fired, right? Yeah, okay. Consequences. What are the consequences of the decision that you're going to make? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? You know, I have to make the decision of consequences every day. Because if I wake up in the morning and I wear a black t-shirt and red socks, my wife will give me a lecture. She'll say, are you stupid? You look stupid wearing red socks. You're wearing a black t-shirt, go and wear black socks. So for me, decision-making and consequences are more difficult because my wife controls what I wear because she wants me to look good, all right? I know that's a pain, but I love her anyway, all right? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, good, excellent. So consequences. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, when you look at consequences, don't only look at social consequences, look at financial consequences, look at environmental consequences, look at legal consequences, all right? Remember, we said that there is tools that you can use to analyze or to measure the risk that you're going to take in decision making and the consequences. Remember, we said PEST measures political, economical, environmental, social, and you know, if you want to make it PESTLE, it also measures legal consequences. All right, so these are tools that you need to use. Write it down, Amal. PEST or PESTLE. All right. Okay, do you understand that, Amal? Did you write it down? Wave your hand, Amal. Stop hiding from me, Amal. Good, excellent. Where's Mary gone? Mary, where are you? Okay, Mary, open your microphone. Mary, it's your turn.
Hello,
Mary,
sir. Good afternoon.
Mary, tell me about the risks or the consequences of a decision that you have made in your life. Can you give me an example? One consequence.
Oh, the consequences that I made in my life when I got pregnant. So, because
right.
I never finished my studies. So now I'm facing it. So I don't have regrets, but I'm still what it is I learned from my mistakes. So I'm trying my best now to make it right.
Well, Mary, can I give you something? I am so proud of you because I know you're one of our students and I have seen you in some of our classes. Mary, I want you to look in the mirror tonight and say to yourself, I am proud of my effort to improve my education and have a better life. All right. I want you to say that to yourself every night when you look at the mirror. Can everybody give Mary a big hand? Because Mary didn't have an education. She gave up very early instead of continuing. She made a very tough decision to study with us. And I see her results. And I know how much effort this young lady puts into her study. Mary Reen Aguro Estaris, Wally is proud of you. Do you understand that, young lady? Give her a big hand, please. God bless you, Mary. I wanted to ask that question. I was hoping you would give me that answer. Thank you, Mary. I'll talk to you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the next element of our lesson today. So we've already spoken of the alternatives and the consequences of what might go wrong. All right, Harold, do you understand what I mean now? Jesucito, do you understand what I mean now? Asa, do you understand what I mean now? Wave your hand, Asa. Catherine Banatson, I can see your hand. I want to see your face, Catherine. Show me your face. Don't be shy, Catherine. You have to be confident. You're a student. Be confident, young lady. Confidence brings success. Good girl, Catherine. All right, let's go on. Commit. What do I mean by commit, everybody? What do I mean by commit? Who can tell me commit? Commit means that you must be prepared to carry through your decision. Do not make a decision if that you think there's a chance you're going to change your mind tomorrow. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Wave your hands. All right, let me give you an example again. I keep going back to this example because it's easy for everyone to understand. Boys, don't go cheating on your girlfriend or your wife if there is never going to be a chance of you breaking up with them. Don't, because you regret it, because they might break up with you. Do you understand what I mean by make sure you commit to any decision you're going to make and the risks involved in that decision? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Everybody wave your hands. Thank you, everyone. Okay, let's go on. So what are the 6 C's again? Who is going to be the first one to pass the test today? What are the 6 C's? Marites, tell me the 6 C's, Marites. Now, open your microphone, Marites. The 6 C's, what are they?
Answer is to construct, compile, select, compare, consider, and commit.
I am so proud of you, Marites. I thought you were going to make a mistake. I'm so proud of you. Good girl. All right, who's next? Who's going to recite next? Somebody else is waving. Akmal John, can you tell me what are the 6 C's that you just learned today, sir? Open your microphone. What are the
Hello,
6 C's?
Professor. Yeah, the first one is construct, which means a clear picture. Construct a clear picture, the first one, and the next one is compile. Compile what? Compile a list, the list of compile. The third one is collect. Collect of what? Collect information of all alternatives, and this is the third one. And the fourth one is compare. Compare other alternative options and with each other, and this is the fourth one. And the fifth one, consider. Consider what? Consider the what might go wrong, that the decision. And the last one is commit. Commit the decision and follow it. That's the 6th one.
Thank you, Akmal John. You did so well, Akmal John. I'm so proud of you. Good man. Keep up the hard work, mate. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much. I need to hear one more. And let me pick somebody who looks like they're asleep. The young lady in the beautiful pink t-shirt today. Hi, Brenda. Can you recite the 6 C's to me, Brenda? Hi, Brenda. What are the 6 C's?
Hello. Hello,
yeah,
Professor.
Go ahead.
The 6 C's is number 1 is construct, compile, collect, compare, consider, and commit.
Mr. Ali, your voice is breaking. Your voice is not coming.
Okay, let's try again. Brenda, can you hear me? Hi, Brenda, can you hear me now? Okay, yes. I'm not sure what happened there, but it seems it came back. I thank you for that. Brenda, let me ask you another question before you go. What is a decision that you haven't already made that you may have to make in the near future in your life? Can you give me an example?
The decision that I need to make is to change where I am today.
Okay. Can I ask you, Brenda, do you think that these 6 C's that I have taught you today, are they going to help you analyze the decision you're going to make?
Yes, exactly. All the
right, and-
6 C's can help me.
Okay. And Brenda, if for any reason you don't understand any of them, you can email me or WhatsApp me at any time. All right, young lady. If you can't find me, ask any of your lecturers. They'll put you in touch with me. Is that okay with
Okay,
you,
thank
Brenda?
you.
Good on you, Brenda. Have a great day ahead. God bless
Thank you.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can everybody hear me now? Is my voice clear? God bless you all. I love you all. Thank you very much. Okay. I want to go to another student here that looks like they're asleep. Who else am I going to pick on today? Annalyn, Isani. Okay, I'll come back to you. There's somebody else that looks like they're half gone. They're not smiling at me. Let's talk to Elizabeth Mercado. Good evening, ma'am. Where are you from today? You're in the Philippines. What part? I can't hear you, Elizabeth. Speak up. Stop being shy.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Do you understand the 6 C's? What are the 6 C's?
Yeah, the 6 C's are construct, compile, collect, compare, consider, and commit.
Give her a big hand, everybody. Good girl. I'm proud of you, Elizabeth. Good girl. I'll come back to you. Thank you. All right, guys, let's go on. So let's go on and continue our lesson. All right, so what we have decided now is we've learned the 6 C's. We need to now address what are the possible traps of making a decision. What are the traps? What do I mean by trap? Who can tell me? What is a trap? A trap is a failure or a roadblock. Do you understand that, everyone? It's like you want to go and turn right, but there's no right turn. Or you want to marry a Frenchman, but you have no French boyfriend. Or you want to marry a French girl, but you never met a French girl because you've never been to France. These are traps that you fall into. A simple example. The other simple example of a trap is making something impossible. You need to ask yourself, is anything impossible in life? And my answer to that is nothing is impossible. The only thing is impossible is that you not making the effort to achieve the impossible. Do you understand that? Nothing in life is impossible. If you want to build something and there is no door, then build the door, kick it down and make it possible. If you want to be a millionaire, keep thinking of ways to make $1 million. If you want a salary increment, keep thinking of new ideas. Keep being eccentric. Keep showing your boss new ideas to increase profit, productivity, and profitability. You will be successful. Never say never. Never tell me that something is impossible. Do you understand that, everyone? Nothing is impossible. God gave you the choice to live. Your parents brought you to life, so nothing is impossible. The only thing that makes it impossible is your will and your attitude to defeat the impossible. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Good. Letting your fears and biases or letting peer pressure inflict or affect your decision. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Do not worry about peer pressure. Remember, don't worry about what other people think. Worry about what you think and the decision that you need to make. Does everybody understand that? You don't need other people's approval. The only approval you need is your own approval. You don't need people to clap for you. You only need you to clap for yourself. Do you understand that? Because if you clap for yourself, other people will clap for you. But if you wait for them to clap for you, you'll never have a chance to clap for yourself. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Do not get lost in anything, whether it's minutia, wasting time and avoiding making a decision, or don't get lost in politics or what your parents or what your boyfriend want, because they will often end up in causing you headaches. Does everybody understand by what I mean by minutia? Don't get caught in it. And I know some of you get caught in it every day, especially those of you who have boyfriends. You know, today you want to go home and you're tired and you just want to go home and watch TV, but he keeps annoying you. No, you have to go out with me. And you're in a dilemma. Do I go out with him to keep him happy? Do I go home to have dinner with mum and dad so they didn't get upset with me? Or do I go home simply because I'm tired? Or will he just hold that against me? These are simple examples of minutia. And this is something that you all suffer. And forgive me, I'm not trying to be chauvinistic. Women suffer from it more than men. Do you understand that, everyone? Wake up. Okay? Craving for unanimous approval. You don't need unanimous approval. You need to believe in what you're doing and make sure that what you're doing meets your objective. You don't need unanimous approval because you may never get it and you'll never be successful. Trying to make a decision or decisions which are outside your realm of authority. For example, if Asa works for a company and she is a HR officer, she cannot make a decision to give the whole company a 10% pay rise because she doesn't have the authority to. She can't sign off the payroll. So don't try to make a decision on something that you don't have the authority to do. What you can do is suggest it to your boss or the decision maker. Do not try to make a decision when you don't have the power of authority to make that decision. Tarzin Kit, do you understand what I said, Tarzin? Wave your hand, Tarzin. Are you there, Tarzin? Are you okay? I see you scratching your eye. Okay, take care. Don't injure your eye, young lady. Okay, let's go on, guys. The other trap is don't be too willing to begin with inaccurate or wrong information because they can see you to failure. Make sure that you have accurate and correct information before you make a decision. Don't avoid certain elements or certain information because it makes you feel sad or because you know it's wrong. Face the reality. Face the reality. Don't be afraid to ask all the questions. Don't be afraid to look at all the factors, even if they show you that you're losing money. Don't say, oh, I don't want to show my partner that we're losing money. Be honest, we're losing money, and that's why I'm making this decision. Don't ignore it, because if you ignore it, you will make the wrong decision. Don't say that I don't need to follow the 6 C's because my boyfriend told me, my mother told me, my father told me. This is not about making an emotional decision. It's about making a decision that has an impact on your business or your life. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Good. Do not make a decision without defining the results that you expect to achieve. Do you understand that, Jacques? Make sure you have clear goals. Make sure you know exactly what you want to achieve. Otherwise, you have made the wrong decision. Do you understand that, Jacques? Jacques? Good. Worst of all, failure to reach a decision. Avoid the worst of all. If you don't make a decision, you will never be successful. The most powerful and successful people in life made decisions. and they learned from those decisions. If it's a wrong decision, you can learn from it and change it and make a correct decision. But if you're afraid to make any decision, you will never know the difference. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Steve Jobs made a decision. Steve Jobs decided to go to Reed College. Reed College is just as expensive or more expensive than Stanton. All right. But when Steve Jobs made that decision, he also made another decision later. He decided to give up his studies and travel to India to learn about calligraphy and life in India, meditation. He was not afraid to make that decision. He did not say to himself, if I leave Reed College, I'll fail. I'll be a failure. I'll never become a millionaire. He made the decision. And after he traveled to India and came back, he also made decisions. He worked for Atari for 2 years. He went to Apple. Then he left Apple. He started his own company. And eventually he became CEO of Apple Inc. Ladies and gentlemen, he failed once. Yeah, he failed. He left the best college in the world. He traveled to India. And maybe if he hadn't done that, he would have got to CEO at Apple earlier. But it was never a regret from him because he learned from his failure. He came back. He worked for Atari. He worked for Apple. And when he wasn't delivering what they wanted, he left and started his own company. And through his failures in life, he learned. And then Apple came chasing him to go back. And he went back and became one of the most powerful and successful CEOs in the industry. If it wasn't for him, Apple would not exist today. Apple would not be the market leader it had become. That is Steve Jobs. The other major trap is what I call procrastination, Jennifer, and I'm sure you are guilty of procrastinating once during your life, Jennifer, because we all are. Procrastination is the habit of delaying an important task or a decision by changing our focus to a less urgent or more enjoyable and easier activity instead. I'll give you an example, Jennifer. I'll give you an example, and this is just hypothetical, nothing personal. Jennifer, for example, could be going out with a boyfriend that she's gone out for 2 years. She doesn't really enjoy his company. The only reason she goes out with him is because she's too lazy or tired or scared to look for a new boyfriend who can make her feel a lot better about herself. That's procrastination. Another element of procrastination is Jennifer is unhappy with her current employer, hypothetically. But Jennifer is afraid to look for another job because she's afraid that one day her current employer might find out and fire her and she'll be unemployed. Another solution. Am I right, Jennifer? Do you agree? This is procrastination. Jacques could procrastinate as most men do. Jacques would say to himself, I don't want to take a decision to start a business because I'm afraid that my parents might disagree with me. It's better that I just keep working in a factory or an office and earning a lower salary because it's safer. But the longer Jacques procrastinates, the longer his dream will fail. The longer it will take for him to one day say, I have a business, my parents, my children, my wife have a future. Am I right, Jacques? Wave your hand, Jacques. Good man. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, procrastination is a result of laziness and unwillingness to act. Remember what I told you about achieving the impossible? Achieving the impossible is possible, providing you're not lazy, providing you're not unwilling to take risks in life. Ladies and gentlemen, decision-making is one of the most important things that you need to learn in your journey to success. Procrastination, ladies and gentlemen, will block your road. It will block your potential. It will undermine your career success, your business productivity, and the profitability of the company or business that you own and or work for. Do you understand that, everyone? These are simple, common sense, inherent traps. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Jennifer, wave your hand to me, Jennifer. Look at the camera, young lady. I know you're writing it down, Jennifer. God bless you. And Jennifer, I'm so proud of your achievements during classes. I am so proud of the effort you're putting into your studies. I've watched you in some of the classes, Jennifer. Keep up the study, Jennifer. I'm so proud of you, young lady. Good girl. I'm proud of all of you, actually, but I don't get to watch all of you. I only remember the ones that I watched last week or the week before, but I'm proud of all of you. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go on with today's lesson. Mistakes. Remember what I told you, failure or mistakes along the way are good because some decisions are being made along the way. And if those decisions are wrong, you will learn from them and fix them. But if you don't mistakes, if you don't recognize that making mistakes is part of your journey in learning, you will never be successful. Do you understand that, everyone? Do you understand what I mean by making mistakes? Companies all over the world make mistakes. Look at it. Airlines all over the world make mistakes. Some days they fly a 747 with only 20 passengers. And then some people say it's easy, cancel the flight. But they learn from their mistakes, because if they cancel the flight, they get a reputation of being an unreliable airline. If they continue that flight, they learn from their mistakes that maybe our airfares are too expensive, maybe the schedule is wrong, we change it, we get more passengers to fill that flight. They learn from their mistakes. Do you understand that, everyone? Wave your hand, Jennifer. The most important decisions you make in life, guys, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, are not the things you do, but the things you decide not to do. Steve Jobs, may he rest in peace. Steve Jobs is one of the people that motivated me to keep teaching many years ago. Steve Jobs, when he went back to Apple the first time, said this: the most important decisions you make in your life, Wally, are not the things you do, but the things you decide not to do. If you don't take up your passion to educate, which is a passion that you've always had, you will fail. That will be your biggest mistake. Thank God, Steve Jobs, I have been head of human resources. I have been a trainer. I have been a motivator, a speaker, and an advisor to governments, multinational companies all over the world, because I made a decision. Okay. I made a decision. Okay. That's what I did. The most important decisions you make are not the things you do, but the things you decide not to do. I decided not to go on and become a criminologist sitting at a desk, flicking through papers and writing opinions for barristers who were defending murderers. I decided to give away that desk job. I decided not to become a criminologist all my life. I decided to put my talents where my passion was and become an educator, a teacher, and a motivator. And I have been successful. Thank you, Steve Jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take questions, and please don't tell me you don't have any questions, because if you don't ask questions, it means you haven't learned anything. Don't ever do that. Always ask questions. Let me stop sharing my PowerPoint presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start from the beginning. Who would like to ask me a question? No electronic hands. I want the hand to wave. Okay, let's go to some of these serious students. Let's start with Anil Kumar. Hello, Anil. How are you today, sir? Can you undo your microphone? I'm coming to you, Marites. Okay, Anil was first. Go ahead, Anil.
I'm good, sir. I'm good, sir. Thank you, sir. How are you, sir?
I can't hear you, Anil. You're breaking up. Can you try to fix your microphone and say it again, please?
You can hear me, sir?
Yeah, but your voice is breaking,
Yeah,
but try
I'm
again.
good, sir. You can hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Sir, regarding, I just heard just now explaining the lesson, right? Regarding the question trees and the fish.
Yes. Okay, Anil, I'll be running a lesson on those in about 4 weeks. Watch out for BizTalk. I will be running BizTalk again in week 2 of we're in October now. I'll be running BizTalk again in week 2 of November and again in week 4 of November. I would suggest to you that we'll be covering those tools in week 4 of November, which is 4 weeks away. Please watch out for BizTalk in week 4 November. But what I suggest you do, Anil, is make sure you start doing your research about them, because you're now studying, and part of your job as a student is to explore and always explore new ideas. So when I teach them, I reinforce your ideas. You follow what I'm saying, Anil?
Yeah, yes, sir. Noted, sir.
Thank you, Anil. God bless you. All right, let's go to the next person, the hand that went up, and that was from Marites. Just give me a few minutes, guys. I've got a list here. Marites Tausa. Hi, Marites. Welcome back. Can you unmute your microphone, ma'am?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your question?
I'm just very curious now. Of all those decisions you made, are there any decision you regret?
Marites, you want me to tell you a decision, and this is a very personal decision. The biggest mistake I made was to send my first girlfriend to the US to study. That was the biggest decision I regret. Do you understand how hurtful that is?
Yeah,
all right.
I know she also regret that one, sir.
Okay, but listen, you know what? I regretted it for the first 5 or 10 years after it happened, and now I have no more regrets. The regret's gone. And the other major regret for me was the way that I stopped talking to my father for 15 years, who died, and I only got to say I love you after he was dead. I think that was the heaviest regret that I carry to my grave. And I hope that my daughter will never stop talking to me for 15 years. So I think that is one of my biggest regrets. I got a message that my father was in hospital. I ignored it for 3 months because I hated him. I got a message one Monday morning that he was very sick and he was dying. Instead of ringing him and talking to him on the phone, I didn't tell anyone. I got on a plane because my wife told me, go and visit him. 45 minutes before my plane landed, my father passed away. I reached the hospital at his bedside and broke down in tears. I have never cried in my life in front of my father. I think that's one of the biggest regrets I had. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right.
Actually, sir, I just want to share something about your girlfriend, no? Maybe because it's destiny. Yeah, so we need to accept whatever it will be.
Well, no,
Yeah.
destiny's true, because now I'm married to the love of my life. I have one of the
Yes,
greatest
yes,
wives,
yes,
one of the most
yes,
beautiful daughters in the world. But you asked me what my regrets in life were. They were 2 of my regrets. But other than
yes,
that,
yes,
I'm the happiest man in the world. Marites, I don't want you to have any regrets in your life. I want you to achieve your goals. You understand that? But you know, Marites, let me leave you with this. Let me leave you with this, that without regrets, you don't become successful. So sometimes it's good to have one regret in life. Thank you, Marites. I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you. You're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome. Okay, let me go to the next person who's raised their hand. The next person is Zin Ma Fio. Hello, Zin. Do you have a question for me? Zin Ma, do you want to ask me a question? Can you unmute your microphone? Are you there, Zin Ma? Hi, Zin Ma. How are you? I can't hear you, Zin Ma. Do you have a question? Yeah, hi. How are you? What's your question? Any questions, Inma? No question. Okay. All right, let's go to the next person. Who wants to ask me a question? Okay, here we go. Model, okay, we've got Model Amin is next in the queue. Hello, Model Amin. Go ahead, sir. How can I answer your question today? Hello, Model Amin. Are you going to open your microphone for me, sir? Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. How can I help you? What's your question for me today?
Yeah, my question is, how can you avoid making decisions?
How can you avoid making mistakes in decision?
Yeah, in decision making.
Model, I mean, let me give you a clear answer because I
Decision that
told you. Yeah, let me give you.
You're gonna regret it after making.
Okay, let me answer that question for you in a very simple, and as a professor who cares. If I said to you, Model Amin, that there's a guaranteed way of never regretting a decision or never making a mistake in a decision, then I would be lying. Because every day something changes in this world that might impact the decision you make. So if your decision is good, then the chances are that you're going to have to change it along the way. But don't ever be afraid of making a decision, Model Amin, because if you don't make a decision, you will never know whether you're successful or not. And without failure, you can never be successful. Model Amin, a lot of people around the world will tell you that to be a failure is a failure. But I would say to you academically, psychologically, physically, and mentally, as somebody who has failed and is now successful, that without failure, there is no success. Do you understand that, young man? I can't hear you, Model Amin. You've muted your microphone. Can you open your microphone? Are you there, sir? Can you open your microphone, Model Amin? Do you understand what I said?
Yeah, I understand what you said.
Okay, listen, mate, my co-host will give you my WhatsApp number in the chat box. You're one of our students, and I'm sure you already know my WhatsApp or email. Model Amin, if you want me to answer some questions and motivate you, just let me know. I'd be happy to call you and talk to you, all right? You can contact me through WhatsApp. All right, mate? Okay? Thanks, mate. Take care. All right. Okay, who else would like to talk to me? I see hands going up here. Okay, the next hand that just went up is Amal and then Mary Reen. Okay, Amal, go ahead, Amal. What's your question, Amal?
Sir, I wanted to ask, if you're committing a decision, how can you not take a dangerous risk?
Okay, Amal, I want you to listen carefully. Just hear me. Amal, before you make that decision, you have to ask yourself, what are the consequences, right? Do you agree with me? Okay,
yes, sir.
So if listen carefully, Amal, and I want you to keep this in your mind because you're only young and this is a very good question. Amal, if you've already analyzed the consequences, you understand that? You've asked yourself, what are the consequences? You've thought of all the factors, okay? No matter what the consequences are, Amal, there will always be a risk. Would you agree with me? Let me ask you a question, Amal. Every time you cross the road, is there a risk?
Yes.
Every time you wake up in the morning, is there a risk?
Yes.
Every time you go to sleep at night, is there a risk?
Yes.
Every time you go home and say to your father, I need more pocket money, is there a risk?
Yes, sir.
All right. So can I ask you, Amal, is it better to face risk and be happy to deal with it? Or is it be better to be afraid of risk and never deal with it? Which one is better?
Take the risk and make the decision.
Amal, I'm going to tell you as a young girl, like all of you here, if you don't take risk in life, Amal, you will forever be a failure. Do you understand that, young lady?
Yes, sir.
Amal, I'm going to leave you with one more thought. Your mother and father have worked hard all their life for you to grow up and be successful. Am I right? They've worked hard.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can I ask you a question? If your mother and father didn't take the risk of bringing you to this world and working hard to educate you, would you be here today?
No.
All right. So should you be grateful to them and to God for giving you that opportunity?
Yes.
And what are you going to do now that you've got that opportunity? What are you going to do?
I'm going to educate myself, and I'm going to make my career and my future. And I'm going to be successful.
Amal, I'm so proud of you. And one day you're going to buy me coffee if you're successful. All right. And you know what, Amal, I know that I'm going to get that coffee, and I'm going to make you buy me the expensive coffee in that coffee shop, because I know without doubt, with no hesitation in my mind, that Amal Arif is going to be successful in the very near future. I have been watching you, Amal, now for a few months, and you are one lady. And every time I see you and see your exam results, I am so proud of your achievement. All right. And I'm so proud of all of you. I want you to look in the mirror, Amal, every night and say, my name is Amal Arif. I will be successful. Do you understand that, young lady?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Amal. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you at the next BizTalk. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, who's next? I have Mary Reen Agiro next. Hello, Mary Reen. Where are you? Go ahead, Mary Reen.
Sir. Good evening again.
Good evening. What's your question?
My question is, have you experienced failure before you become a successful man today?
Mary Reen, if I said no, I would be a liar. I failed 3 or 4 times in my life. Mary Reen, at one point, I was almost suicidal because of my failure. But what I learned in life, Mary Reen, is the people around me, the people that I worked with and associated with, always told me, my guru, like I am to you, hopefully, told me that, Wally, if you don't fight failure and learn from it, you will never be successful. Mary Reen, can I tell you about what my biggest failure was? Do you want to know what my biggest failure in life was?
Yes,
my
sir,
biggest failure in life was not becoming an educator 5 years before I did. Because had I become an educator 5 years earlier, I would be much more successful than I probably am today. I would have had 5 years head start on my career. Do you understand that? And I would have published probably 2 more books than what I already have published. I have failed. And Mary Reen, I want to tell you, Steve Jobs failed, okay? Jeff Bezos failed. The guy at Facebook failed. The guy at Google failed. They have all failed. Have you read in the news in the last 2 years about all the lawsuits that Facebook is facing with the US government? They are failures. But what does Facebook do? They fight it and they learn from it. That's why Facebook is the most powerful social media ever created. Do you understand that, Mary Wren? Okay, Mary Wren, I want you to tell me now. I want you to give me your commitment. I want you to repeat after me. I will be successful.
I will be successful.
I am not afraid of failure.
I am not afraid of failure.
I want you to say it again 3 times. I am not afraid of failure.
I am not afraid of failure. I am not afraid of failure. I am not afraid of failure.
Mary Wren, I really am so proud of you, young lady. I'll see you at the next class. Thank you, Mary Wren. God bless you.
You can help me also. Thank you.
Okay, who else wants to talk to me? Next list. Okay, the next person in my list is Iris and then Maria. Iris Bridget Becker, good evening, ma'am. Can you unmute your microphone? Hi, Iris. How can I help you today?
Good evening. Sorry, last time I fell out of the class.
That's okay.
Because the internet, that was very bad.
Iris, what have you learned anything today?
Well, many things of them I already know, but it's always interesting as a motivation. Though I'm interested because in Germany we learn the like bubble chart or tree, or I don't know. We have different name for that, you know. We call it mind map, and they are like bubbles. But you mentioned it. No, I even spied in Google already. So there's more types of analysis tools.
That's right. Yes.
About them, and then also how different tool will be used for different things, right?
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
You use What? Could you like specify that more, or will we have like a class on that? Or
We will.
how is it?
I will be running a class in the 4th week of November. Not that I do BizTalk in the 2nd week and 4th week of every month. So the next BizTalk will be another subject, but in week 4 of November, I will examine these tools and teach you how to use them. Week 4 of
Oh yeah.
November.
Okay.
All right. So
4th of November.
yeah, so if you attend all the BizTalks, not the next BizTalk, but the one after, you will learn all those tools and I'll give you samples to use. All right.
All right. They're always on Saturdays, right? The
Yeah,
BizTalk, because
BizTalk
I'm
is always
full-time
on
working.
Saturday. Yeah, always on
All right.
Saturday. But let me just explain, Iris. If you go to our YouTube channel, which is called the Apex Stories, all BizTalks are published in YouTube within 5 working days. So today's BizTalk will be on the Apex Stories YouTube channel by probably the end of next week after it's put up. But I don't encourage you just to watch it. I ask you always to join the class because you learn more during the class, and then you can go to YouTube later to actually reinforce what you learn. All right?
Perfect.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Thank you so much, Iris.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank
Okay, who's next? Maria Rosemary Peberday, your name is next in my list. Go ahead, Maria. Are you there, Maria? Can you unmute your microphone? Hi, Maria.
Hello, sir. Good
Hi.
evening again.
Good evening. Good. Welcome. How can I help you? What's
Yeah.
your question?
Well, ever since I had always a problem in terms of making decisions. So I married a wrong person, and then because of the residence visa, even I don't love him, I married him just to have a residence visa in Europe.
Right. And what happened?
Then we went back to the Philippines, and then we just lived in 4 years, and then he abandoned me, and then I ended up homeless.
Well, I guess
yeah.
you learned, I think you learned the hardest mistake in your life. And I guess next time you've learned from that, right? You won't let it happen again, will you?
Yes, and now, yes, now I'm getting married with a businessman,
Right.
a rich businessman, and hopefully, thanks God, I'm not homeless anymore.
Okay, let me just tell you something, Rosemary. I'm going to give you a piece of advice. I want you to listen to me carefully, Rosemary, and I don't want you to get upset with me. All right? It's okay to have tears, young lady. It's because you're learning. Rosemary, you're not the only person that made a stupid mistake. I made a stupid mistake as well, because the first girlfriend in my life, I realized that she was with me for 9 years and then took my money to go and study in the US, 12 months tuition. And I feel that the biggest mistake in my life was that I paid for that, because after she went to the US, she never came back, right? And that was 9 years of my life wasted. Do you understand that? And let
Yes.
me just explain to you, probably the reason that she was attached to me was not because of who I was. It was because I was earning $200,000 a year, Australian guy. She was showing off with me. All right. So, and Maria, some of us make the wrong decisions. You made the wrong decision with this guy because you were trying to get yourself a road in life to success, right? And,
Yes.
I made the wrong decision too. It's okay. You learn from those mistakes, but as long as you make sure, Maria, you don't repeat it. Do you understand that, young lady?
Yes, sir.
Maria, can I leave you with 5 important words? Please
Yes,
don't
sir.
take this personally. You're a
Okay.
beautiful woman. Any man who falls in love with you should be honored to have you by their side. All right. Any man that wants to be your partner should be able to support you. All right. And any man that you decide to spend the rest of your life with, you need to have more than just money. You need to respect him, and you need to make an ever-binding commitment that you will work your way through life together. Do you understand that, young lady?
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm not saying that Maria, because I'm trying to say that this is the only way, but I've learned from my mistakes. And I think you just said something before. You learned the hard way. You're almost homeless, right? So
Yes.
by becoming homeless, what has that done to you? It's made you a stronger person. It's made you a smarter woman. And now you think twice. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir. You're right.
I want you to answer and do what I just did to Mary. I want you to repeat after me. I will learn from my mistakes. I want you to say it 3 times.
I will learn from my mistakes. I will learn from my mistakes. I will learn from my mistake.
And
Thank
Maria,
you. Sorry,
Maria,
it makes me cry.
no, that's okay. Maria, can I give you one more piece of advice?
Yes,
If you
sir.
ever need motivation, just WhatsApp me. All right, young lady?
Yes, sir, I will. Because I'm going to November 1, I'm going to meet my husband in Italy, and then I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to have our business. So I'm going to contact you because I need your advice, because I'm going
You're
to
welcome.
have a Airbnb business. So I need
Well,
you.
Well, listen, if I ever come to Italy, I expect to be one of your guests. All right. That's a pleasure.
I'm going to live in Cyprus.
No problem. I love all parts of the world.
You're
If I ever
welcome
come
there,
there,
sir.
you're welcome. We'll keep
You're
in touch.
free. You
You're
will be
welcome.
free in our Airbnb.
You're welcome. Thank
I
you
need
very
your
much.
contact, sir.
Thank you. Take care, Maria. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's go to the next person with their hand up. Why does everybody want to talk to me today? This is incredible. All right, let's go to the next person. Zinma Fyo. Hello, open your microphone, young lady in your green t-shirt. You're looking very healthy today and very rich with the green. Go ahead. How can I help you, Zinma? What's your question, young lady? Are you there? I can't hear you. Speak up. Hello? Are you there? I can't hear you, Zinma. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Are you talking to me? I can't hear you. Govind, is there something wrong with her microphone? I can't hear you, ma'am. You must speak in English. I'm sorry. Can you send her a message, Govind? Tell her if she has any questions to WhatsApp me, please. Govind, send her a message. Tell her to WhatsApp me if she has any questions. Okay, who's next, please? Okay, all right, Karen Balanza, and then Aliu Sowi. Hello, Karen, how can I help you? Go ahead, Karen. Are you there, Karen? Are you there, Karen? Unmute your microphone, Karen. Hi, Karen, how can I help you today? Okay, Karen can't hear me either. Govind, can you send it to her too, please? Thank you, Govind. Hi, Karen, how are you? Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
How can I help you? What's your question?
I'm asking, if you decide business, do not like others, what you do?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? I didn't hear what you said. What was your question?
I'm asking, if you decide business, do not like others, what should you do?
You should use SWOT first. You do SWOT analysis first, then you do PESTLE analysis second. You must do SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then you must do another analysis called PEST analysis. All right. And what I suggest you do, Karen, is if you need to do those urgently, you will learn them through your studies with us. Otherwise, I'll be teaching you how to use those in week 4 of November. But if you want to tell me what sort of business it is, drop me a WhatsApp or an email. Tell me my name is Karen from your class, sir. And can you tell me what sort of analysis I need for this business? And I will definitely reply to you within 3 to 4 working days. Would that be okay?
Yes, sir.
I look forward to hearing you.
My business last year is not working.
Well, can I say something to you, Karen? The reason that you are failing is what is going to make you successful. So what I need to do now is help you understand why you're failing. And because when you learn from that failure, you're going to become much more successful. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. Karen, please WhatsApp me or email me. Just tell me, my name is Karen Balanza. Can you help me? This is my business. This is what I've done. And I believe these are the reasons I failed. And I will tell you I will give you ideas on what you have to do. All right?
Yes, sir.
And Karen, the best thing you can do is keep studying hard, because by the time you graduate, you're going to learn so much about running your business, and your business will be successful. Do you understand that?
I know, sir.
All right. I want you to repeat after me, Karen. I will be successful.
I will be successful soon.
I will learn from my mistakes.
I learn mistake.
I will learn from my mistakes.
I learn from my mistake.
Good on you, Karen. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Have a great afternoon. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I can only talk to about 3 more people. I have another lecture to go to. Let's talk to Annalisa next. Hello, Annalisa. Go ahead. Go ahead, Annalisa. Hello, Annalisa. Hi, Annalisa. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Hi. Good evening. How can I help you? What's your question?
I just want to appreciate you, sir, for being the inspiring for me about my experiences in life.
Annalisa, Annalisa, you don't have to thank me. You just have to say to me, I enjoy learning. And you just have to keep telling me, I will be successful. If you say that,
I will be successful, yes.
If you say that, Annalisa, and make it happen, that would be the biggest thanks you can give me. You promise?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I'm promising, sir. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I
Talk to
study
you
also
soon.
in Kingston, DBSM, sir. I'm
I
a
know
student
that.
of DBSM.
Keep studying hard.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you, sir.
All right, who else is there? I can only speak to 3 or 4 more people, guys. I'm so sorry. I've got another class to teach. I got Alu and Jesucito. Hello, Alu. Go ahead, Alu. Hi, Alu.
Good evening.
Yeah. How can I help you today, sir? Go ahead. What's your question?
My question is, he said in every situation you have to search for the 5 W and 1 H. So this one, you consider it when your decision is failed or when taking decision?
You must consider it before you take every decision. Even if a decision's failed, you must consider it again before you make a new decision. You follow?
Yes, I follow.
All right. Do you have any other question?
Yes, the last lines you give. You said the related code. The most important decision you make are not the things you do, but the things you decide not to do.
Okay. What I mean by that is if you're not prepared to make a decision, all right, not to do this, then you will never be successful. You have to use the 6 C's to decide what you do and what not to do, because whatever you decide to do, you're going to leave something behind that you're not going to do. All right. So that is a critical element in making a decision. Do you understand what I'm saying by that?
Yes, I understand.
All right. Thank you, Alu. I'll talk to you soon. Please feel free to WhatsApp me and let me know if you have any other questions. Keep on learning and keep on studying. Thank you, sir. Okay, the next person in my queue is Jesuito and then Chao Nguyen. All right. Yes, Jesuito, can you unmute your microphone? Can you unmute your microphone, sir? Your microphone is muted. Go ahead.
Okay, so we tackle decision making. So we make decision to success. So is success can call a success without successor? That's my question.
Well, with all due respect, sir, success can't be success unless it's success. So what you need to decide is, how do you measure success? Do you measure success by saying to yourself, I feel that I've succeeded? Or do you measure it by measuring the goals you set for yourself? Every decision we make has to be measured by goals. If it's a business decision, you measure it based on profitability or productivity or increase in business. If it's a personal goal, you measure the decision on whether your life has improved or remains static. If your life has remained static, then you're not successful, obviously. So, if you ask me something about success, success is very subjective. And for me, I don't believe that anybody's successful unless they can measure their success. Steve Jobs can only measure his success by what he took Apple to. I can only measure my success by the number of people who have graduated thanks to the programs and the teaching that I've done. I can only measure my success thank you to the in-house training, the motivation that I've given to CEOs over the world and what their companies have achieved. That's how I measure success. No matter who you go to, whether you talk to the guy that founded Alibaba, whether you talk to Jeff Bezos or any business tycoon, they will tell you that success is how you measure it. And if you lower your standards to measure success, then you will obviously not be successful. Does that help you?
Okay, maybe. So in short, success will be a success if a person is happy for the result of what he
it's
has
not
done.
happy. No, I'm sorry. You're getting me wrong. Happiness has got nothing to do with success. Success is measured by achieving certain goals. So in your goals, you must set goals saying that in 12 months, I want to be doing this. I want to be earning this. That is success. All right. Happiness is not success. Success is when you achieve goals. Please don't misconstrue happiness and success. Happiness is a state of emotion. Success is a state of physical success. Whether it's in dollars or in Korea, it's something that happens. It's brick and mortar. It's money in the bank or promotion or sales. Happiness is an emotional success, not success by real terms. I hope that makes it clearer, Jesucito. And if you'd really like to have a chat about this, I'm happy to ring you one day and go through it in detail and share some examples. But success is only success when it's measured against a milestone. Don't ever say that success is based on happiness. If you base success on happiness, then I regret to say that you don't know what real success is. I've fallen into that trap before and I learned the hard way. And I'd love to go through that with you one day and have a chat with you. I know that you're in Singapore. Maybe one day we can have a coffee. I'd love to share it with you. Or give me a call one day and we'll talk about it. All right, mate?
Yeah, it's allowed and clear. My question is just for the sake of discussion.
I love discussion. That's what makes you a student. Education, study is about question. And I need you to do this more often. I need you to do it every time I see you. And I need you to do it with your lecturers every week. I want you to ask questions and raise discussion. Do you follow me, my good friend, my student? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jesucito. Okay, I can talk to, oh my God, one more. All right, please. I can only talk to 4 more people. They are Mary Lou, Tammy, Zinma, and Chao Gwyn. I can't talk to any more this week. I'm really sorry. I will catch up with you at the next BizTalk. All right, let's go to Chao Gwyn. Hello, Chao Gwyn. How are you? Can you unmute your microphone, Chao Gwyn?
Hello, teacher.
Hi, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you.
What's your question?
I just want to share my experience when I have a difficult to resolve, difficult to make decisions.
Yes.
Yes. How I resolve difficulty making decisions, I will divide 2 sections. On the left section, I will list out how many advantages if I make decision. And the right side, I will list out how many disadvantage components when I make a mistake. And I will get the point for the most benefit. The most benefit, I will give 3 points. The average benefit, I will 2 points. And the last benefit, I will only 1.
Chao Gwyn, what you're telling me, what you're doing is the 6 C's. You're going through all the 6 C's. But what you're doing is you're applying points, numbers, right? Okay.
Yes.
And when I do teach you the tools in week 4 of November, I will also go through putting numbers on it. But let me just give you the negative of the downside of using numbers. Sometimes you need to set rules on what you give 3, what you give 2, and what you give 1. And sometimes you give 3 not based on the fact that this is the factual outcome, but it's based on the fact that consensus says I can give this 3. And that's where you can have a failure. Do you understand that? So sometimes numbers works. And let me tell you, if I have to make a corporate decision regarding increasing profitability, I would certainly use numbers first. Then I would put those numbers away. I would look at it again without the numbers, and then I would match it up. But what I'm telling you as an academic, Chao Gwyn, don't always use numbers. Think of all the possibilities. Think of what, when, where, why, and how. Think of the 6 C's. Put it all down. And even the most difficult consequences, even if you think that this can never happen, put it down, all right? Then what you do is put it aside for 2 or 3 hours, get fresh mindset, and go and read it again. Once you've read it again, discuss it with your team if it's to do with work, then put it on the whiteboard, and then say to everyone, the one that carries the most serious impact, we'll give a number 3. If it's not so serious, number 2, or if we think it's going to have no impact, number 1, all right? And get every person to rate it on a piece of paper. You don't want them to share their results with you, okay? Once everybody's rated it, collect those pieces of paper and add them up, all right? And then see if they all agree what you had put on numbers. Because let me tell you, Chao Gwyn, you know, I'm a bit older than you, unfortunately. I'd love to be young again, but it's too late for me. I have used the number system so many times. And you know what? 6 out of 10, it works. And for the other 9 out of 10, I always go based on the 6 C's and intuition. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the numbers are good, but don't let them be your only factor. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I got.
Because also remember that numbers have to be part of it, because you need to take financial data, statistical data, demographic data about your customer profile. All right, you need all of that. But don't let numbers play the only impact. Numbers are a critical factor, but you should take all the other factors as well. Do you follow me?
Okay.
And Chao Gwyn, I'm going to give you one more offer. If you have a scenario where you've applied numbers, all right? You've applied numbers and you're not confident with it and you want to talk about it, you're welcome to let me know. I'd be happy to help you one-to-one. All right, young lady?
Thank you so much.
Does that make you feel better? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I got it.
Right. You're welcome.
I learned more one lesson, receive it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Chao Gwyn, keep on smiling, and I want you to say this and repeat after me. I learn from my mistakes. Can you say that?
I learn from my mistakes.
Thank you very much. Good evening. God bless you. Good evening. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from Wali Rada here down under in Singapore, Malayan City, the little island in the middle of Southeast Asia, the Asia Pacific, with 6.5 million people on it. I bid you a very good evening. It's just gone 7:30 Singapore local time. I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you've learned something. I look forward to seeing you in your next postgraduate class or diploma class. I look to seeing you graduate. I look forward to seeing you at the next BizTalk. Remember, education is your journey to success. Thank you, everybody. Good night. God bless you all. I love you all. Good night, Mr. Govind. Good night, everyone.